Evening, everybody. It's Thursday evening around 5:30, and this is your closing comment for Thursday the 19th, and it is video number 902. I remind you again to hit that subscribe button and give us a like, hit the notification bell so that you know when there is something coming out. Okay, so we started off the day with, since it's Thursday, we started it off with claims. And initial claims were down 29,000 to 348,000. Good action, still high. But the constant declines during this month should be setting us up for a pretty good number just 2 weeks from now, in the first week of September for the month of August, because this is the third good week in a row. Continuing claims also down, solidly below 3 million, 2.82, down 79,000. Leading economic indicators up 0.9% versus expectations of 0.8%, versus last month's revised from 0.7 to 0.5. So last month, not as good as it looked. And, this is always the problem with using these numbers, because they change. They change from week to week, and they change from month to month. Fortunately, tomorrow there is no economic news coming, so we have a day off, at least from that. It was an interesting day. We were down well over 200 in the Dow. We came all the way back to actually up on the day right before the close, and then sold off again down 66.57, 0.2%. The NASDAQ was both lower and higher. Closed up 1587, so 0.1%, really not much there. The S&P closed up 553 a few minutes before the close. It was up 15, so they sold that off also, but it was up 0.13%. The biggest losers, again, Dow Jones Transports down 184.12, or 1.25%, and the Russell just under that, down 26.36, or 1.22. So 1.22 for the Russell and 1.25 for the transports. Both ugly. Market internals were also weak again. This is something that I've been pointing out every single day. Even when we were up the day before yesterday, internals were negative. Today, the internals were 2.5 to 1 down, 2.6 to 1 down in the NASDAQ, even though it was up, and volume was slightly higher. So I'm going to show you, we'll come back to this. I want to show you my sectors. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, actually 11 sectors. All of them were down for the most part. Defense was down. The meme stocks were down. I'll come back to that in a second. Energy was down. Pot and psychedelics down. Financials down. Infrastructure down. Work from anywhere mixed. 1, 2, 3, 3 to 3. But the work from home ETF was down. Cruise and airlines down. Biopharma down. The only one really solidly up besides retail was food supply chain. So, that's a pretty defensive group. So, as you can see, the market really has not been acting well. And as far as the meme stocks go, only one of them was up, and I don't know that it's actually a meme stock, which is Jan 1, and it basically was a short covering that had it up at $38. I don't think it's actively a meme stock. I mean, when you look at the volumes here, 40, 50, 27, 55, 18 million, 153,000 may be good for Jan, but it's really not much. The thing that you have to remember about these stocks is, although they have a big Robinhood retail following and a big Reddit retail following, these are actually some pretty crappy companies. And so it doesn't surprise me. What does surprise me is that Robinhood, after the offering, was 85, and it was down another 11% today to 44. Virgin Galactic has dramatically fallen from the test flight that everybody was so excited about, where the stock ran up to 57, currently 24 and a quarter, and really just eroding day after day after day. Obviously, Robinhood, 85, 44. So, not great. Okay, let's take a look at what happened here in the futures. Energy broke. I told you this yesterday before I left for New York yesterday afternoon. I said we were going to break 65, and if we did, 62, possibly as far as 60 was in the books. We closed mid-range today, but still down $1.71. So, and I'm not sure that we're really going to stop much before 61.5 or 60 in that area. Gold really has been doing nothing the last couple of days, and today was just one more day like that, where we were down $1.30, and the range we closed, a little bit towards the bottom end of that range, but not a big day. Slightly lower high, slightly lower low, but it looks like it's closing pretty close to this 5-day moving average. So, and clearly that has turned back to the upside. Silver looks pretty much like the gold. What did do well was Bitcoin. Bitcoin and Ethereum both have built nice little bases of support here. We bounced off the 100-day moving average from the top, had a slightly lower slightly lower low, and a slightly higher high, closing on the high. That's an outside day, generally very bullish, and we'll have to see. The high close here looks like that's 46,505, so this is a closing high. So if we hold this area for another day for tomorrow on a weekly basis, we'll have a higher low, higher high for the week, closing up on the week. That could give us back up to 52, 53,000. Okay, so for no reason, with no news, Microsoft 296.77, new all-time high, up $6.04, 2.1%. NVIDIA and Cisco both beat on the numbers, on their earnings. NVIDIA up 7.5 at 190, almost 198, up 4%. Cisco beat top and bottom also, 57.27, up 212 or 3.8%. And one little one, Pharmasite. This is kind of an interesting one, so I'm going to show it to you on the chart, because it just shows that if you don't do your homework, you don't really see what's going on. So Pharmasite, on a daily basis, closed last Friday $3.27. On Monday, they got word they were being listed on the NASDAQ after trading over the counter. Didn't really do much for it, but it had moved from a low of 231 that day to a high of 444, closed 327. So Monday they made the announcement. Stock really didn't do much, 275 to 341. Then again, on Tuesday, up a little, not much. But then yesterday, the stock just took off. 990 with a high of 998, up 190%, $6.48. And then today, they announced they were going to do a 14 million share stock offering, and the stock gave back 65%. Went from 990 to 348 after trading 335. But here's the interesting part of this chart right here. On Monday, July the 12th, the stock reverse split itself 1 for 1,500. So let's put that in perspective. That means that today's price of $3.48 versus the all-time high for this stock after it was a new issue in 2003, with that split, translates into a high of 3,750. That's a pretty hefty high. So if you take that split and you divide this high, it actually gives you a high of about $2.50. And today's close down here at 348, also divided by 1,500, gives you an adjusted price of 0.002, 0.2 of a cent. The only reason that the stock is listed on NASDAQ after the reverse, which was probably done in anticipation to take the stock from basically $5, which is the equivalent of .3 of a cent, so that it makes the listing requirement of a stock over $5. So this one, I don't know. I'd be a little wary of it. I don't know what they work on. I don't know what their area of expertise is in pharma. But from a destruction of equity basis since 2003 till today, basically you're talking about 2.5 to 0.2 of 1 cent. Not one I particularly want to follow, but hey, I've been wrong. Have a good one, folks. I'll be back first thing in the morning.